So we've just arrived at our tiny home here in Noosa. Kind of see where they got the inspiration from. It's kind of like an Aussie backyard shed. We opened this up. Wow, online the space looked super minimal, but the way that they've converted this. Hey everybody, and welcome to Australia. If you're just tuning in, we're currently on a little bit of a baby moon series, and for the last 9 days we've actually been island hopping around Fiji, living it up in aqua blue waters, drinking
sipping on coconuts.
Way too many coconuts. Thank you.
Yes, our first coconut.
And since then we found that the cheapest flights out of the South Pacific were actually to Brisbane. Welcome back to where it all began, here in Nandi. We have like a 3-4 hours till our next flight. Yeah. Feels weird to be back on a big plane.
I'm going to drink a little one.
We're flying Virgin all the way to Brisbane, and we found out that we live in the east coast of Australia. It is so cheap to get to Fiji, and I don't know why we've never done it before.
Only 3.5 hours and we'll be back in Australia.
It feels so weird to be back in Australia after a 3.5 hour flight.
I know, an international 3.5 hour flight.
Living in Perth, the only time that ever happens is if we're coming from Bali.
I know, it's kind of nice living on the east coast.
Yeah.
And then we realised we've actually never properly explored Brisbane and the Sunshine Coast, so we've rented a car and we're going on an Australian road trip.
So we thought we'd kick things off here in Brisbane, and we've just checked into a city hotel last night. We're staying at the Carlisle Hotel, and wow, for a city hotel, it is so beautiful. Woke up this morning, had to wake up by doing a little dip in the pool. Honestly, nothing like a morning dip to wake you up in the morning. And now I've worked up an appetite. We've come up for breakfast, and whew, I've missed Aussie brunches.
So we're back up at our room, and before we go and check out the city, we want to show you the room because it is so beautiful. But first of all, we are on our balcony overlooking the pool. And have you ever seen such a nice city hotel pool? Like, look at that. So here is our beautiful room. We are staying in one of their pink rooms, so everything is basically pink, but I think our favorite bit is the bathroom. It is so nice.
And they've got this little divider mirror, which I thought was kind of cool. So if you wanted to like close off the bathroom.
I just think the bathroom looks so pretty. Like even the shower, like look at the little shower room.
This is a room that you'd find like, I don't know, by the seaside or something.
Yeah, that's what, yeah, it does. It feels like we're staying by the sea, but we're in the heart of the city. So we've decided to start our first morning off here in Brisbane at South Bank. It is such a little beautiful spot right near the city. So across from us is the city. You walk over a bridge and then you've come to this place where there is a beach, there is a pool, there's a bunch of places to eat and drink. Like you do not think that you are right next to a major city right now. It feels like you're basically by the sea.
So there's not many cities where you've got not only just like 1, 2, 3 pools, but then you also have like a beach here right in front of the city. I'm sure in the middle of summer, this place is just packed. I think after 9 days of beaches in Fiji, we've kind of been drawn towards them, but who knew that you could just kind of sit here and get views of the city.
I did not expect that this is how we were going to be starting our day.
And then we left the beach to walk into a rainforest.
Brisbane just keeps surprising us. We didn't even know this was here. I was like, is that like a tropical rainforest just over there?
Hey, and this is why you should explore your own backyard. Like,
yeah.
We love doing Aussie trips.
A few moments later.
From tomorrow, Brisbane can expect up to 80 millimetres of rain. The Bureau says anywhere between 100 to 200 millimetres of rain could fall tomorrow between the Sunshine and Gold Coast.
What? Well, that's not what we were expecting. For the last couple of days, we've had flash flooding in Brisbane, but we can't complain because this part of Australia really does need the rain. So we've just picked up our rental car and we've left, and we're heading up to a place called the Glasshouse Mountains, and that's where we're going to spend the next couple of nights. And we're about to turn off onto Steve Irwin Highway.
There's nothing like the real thing. run in circles round your heartstrings.
So one of the main reasons you come out here to the Glasshouse Mountains is for the hiking. Now, there are a bunch of mountains scattered all over the national park, and of course some mountains are harder than others. So we have tried to choose a mountain that isn't too crazy for me for hiking, so we've chosen the 6th tallest mountain. Meant to be amazing views at the top, and they said it's around 1 kilometre each way. So we'll see if I can make it.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
I was the moth, you were the flame. You lit the fuse, I took the blame. But I know better now.
Alrighty, 28 minutes in. They said it'll take about half an hour to 40 minutes, and I think we're almost at the top. Look at Jess, I'm so proud of my wife. 6 months pregnant, in a dress, about to climb to the top of a mountain. Oh wow. Huh. How nice is this?
I've got a match and I'm taking it to everything you said. A gust of wind in my lungs, a wildfire in my
I'm proud of myself that I did it.
I'm proud of you. Like, what a hike. Like, what 6-month pregnant women out there are hiking up these mountains?
I feel like you can do it though. I did it.
You did it? High five?
High five. And I think what's really cool is that whenever we come to places like this, we really appreciate being able to call Australia home. And I can't believe that only an hour outside of Brisbane City is like natural beauties like this one.
So I actually didn't really know too much about the Glasshouse Mountains before we came here, and I think it's quite unique because it's not just like a mountain range. It's almost like very flat land, and then you have these structures just uniquely just placed up. This hike, I highly recommend it because 2 of them are perfectly lined up. You can kind of see like 2 of them right here, and there's another one right there, and you get just 360-degree panoramic views. Wow.
So we've arrived at the national park and we are staying at an eco lodge, and they have very unique accommodations here, and one is a train carriage that was built in the late 1800s and they've converted it into like a little hotel room. It is really cool, super authentic.
So as you can see, this is a full Victorian train carriage, and the guy that checked us in was saying there were about 20 odd of them built, and the rest are in museums, and he's the only private owner of one.
Which is pretty cool. So this is probably one of the only you can actually stay in. And so as you can see, the front of the carriage they converted into a little kitchen. They even have like the old railing where you would hold your bags and a really old phone. Like,
Wind it up.
whoa, that's so cool. And then down here is where you sleep. So they've converted the rest of the carriage into the actual bedroom. So you come in here and look at the old light switch. Oh my gosh, it looks so cool in here. And there's even a bathroom.
Which is so cool. So yeah, this was a first-class carriage in like 1884, 1885.
Yeah, I saw a sign here saying something about London and North West Railway, May 1901.
Wow. This is him bringing in the actual carriage. And he's actually placed it onto a train track. So that's what we're currently placed on right now. So here at the lodge we're staying at, they claim to have the world's smallest cafe. And it's the afternoon, craving some coffee. And this little box caught my attention.
Static faces blinking off and on. She's always sleeping with the TV on.
Yup. Officially the smallest self-service cafe that I've ever been into. We have the coffee machine here. We have some pods. It's a $2 honesty box. I bought my milk and my little cup. Let's make a coffee.
you taking us? This whole trip, we've made it so we've like taken turns of where we've gone. So I was the one that chose the Glasshouse Mountains, and Stephen was about to tell me where we were going today, and then he decided to pull out the camera. So I know this is going to be good. Where are you taking us?
I mean, it's good for at least one of us.
What?
It's
We're not skydiving.
no. It's 3 hours away.
3 hours, okay.
And what's my favorite drink? In Germany. Oh. Bundaberg on the menu. My taste, Stephen Jess love Bundaberg ginger beer.
Ginger beer.
No, what's my specific favorite ginger beer?
Bundaberg ginger beer. We're going to Bundaberg, aren't we?
We're going to Bundaberg.
3 hours to go and taste ginger beer. Okay. So while we're on our quest to go and get Stephen's famous ginger beer, we've stopped off at a spot called Eumundi Markets, and they're open every Wednesday and every Saturday, and they've been open since 1979. So they're very, very iconic, and now they have over 600 stalls. So we're gonna go shopping, go get a nice Aussie coffee, and then hit the road again.
First of all, this just looks like it's gonna pack a punch, but I'm waiting. Letting Jess have a market moment, then it's mine. Jess, can we get this for the baby?
It's cute.
That was really cool in the end. So they had a bunch of food stalls, bunch of like homemade crafts, had some good coffee, there was some live music. You could easily spend most of the afternoon there.
Three hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
We're in Bundaberg!
This kid is way too excited to be at Bundaberg right now. Oh my gosh, Bundaberg, I think you may have a #1 fan. Oh, Stephen, it's the Bundaberg barrel. Is it worth the 3-hour drive?
I can't believe we're here.
Look at it.
Look at this beauty.
This is where your dreams are made.
Oh, people have got like 24 packs with them.
After 3 hours of driving, we finally made it to Stephen's Bundaberg barrel, and this is where all of Stephen's dreams come true. Inside this barrel is where they make Bundaberg ginger beer.
It's like the Australian Disney World. Welcome to Bundaberg, everybody. Just getting some inspo when we finally have a house. Let's do the tour.
That's good.
That was good. Yeah. Christmas special.
We had more of those bitters, licorice squash. There is one.
19 drinks in, last one, Bundy Barrel exclusive.
Bundy barrel exclusive. I cannot believe you just made me taste 19 different sodas. You sick.
This is my type of wine beer tasting. I'm in heaven right now. Got some roadies. I know I just had 19 tastings, but I think we can have one more.
Look.
Worth it driving the 3 hours? Worth it driving.
Sure. So, after a 3-hour, actually more of a 6-hour detour, we've finally arrived in Noosa, which is where I wanted to go to in the first place. But, Stevie, I'm glad that you got all your Bundabergs.
I'm not saying it's worth the 6-hour detour, but that's the most fun I've had all week.
So ever since we went to Byron Bay, we've always wanted to come to Noosa. A bunch of you told us so that if we enjoyed Byron, we'll enjoy Noosa. And I think you guys are going to be right. And one of our favourite things down in Byron Bay was the brunches. So now we need to go check out what the brunches are like here in Noosa.
In my mind, my bags are packed. Something always takes me back to that.
Breakfast was so nice, and I love places like this where they have restaurants right on the beach. So we're able to sit out, watch the waves come in, and have an amazing breakfast. But we also went shopping, and we found the cutest little thing, and I needed to show you because we actually haven't bought too much for the little baby yet. But we thought, imagine if her first ever little swimsuit is from Noosa. So we found a little shop.
It's a little cozy.
It's a little cozy. It's so cute. So it's yellow. See? And then the back is a little crisscross. Isn't that so cute? So her first ever little swimsuit is going to be from here in Noosa.
This is also dangerous, by the way, because for the first 6 months we didn't know what the gender was, and now that we know it's a girl,
I keep going shopping. But it'll be cute to buy like little things from all around where we've been traveling.
Yeah. So we've just arrived at our tiny home here in Noosa, and I just love how they've done it. It's actually at the backside of someone's house, and I can kind of see where they got the inspiration from. It's kind of like an Aussie backyard shed, and they've made the bigger version of it. Cannot wait to show you guys how cool this spot is.
Alright, welcome to our tiny home here in Noosa.
Let's give you guys a room tour. We opened this up. Wow, online, the space looked super minimal, but the way that they've converted this into a tiny home, it actually feels super spacious. We have a kitchen, we even have a lounge room, and then of course the bedroom is upstairs. But I just want to give you guys a room tour. So as you walk in, we have a dining table, and honestly there's ample space here to have all your meals just up here. And if you look to the left, I would say you've got a full service kitchen. So we have a fridge freezer just over here. We have a kettle, so if we want to make some coffee in the morning. And honestly, I think the aesthetics just fits Queensland and Noosa. Plenty of greens, plenty of woods. We got some like antique gold vases just up there. Even love another alternate way of living is in a van. Then to the left, as we come through here, is the bathroom, and we have our toilet here. We have a shower. It almost feels like the tiny home is raised. Like, I'm not the tallest person, but I definitely feel comfortable in here. That's where we're going to be sleeping. So it's kind of cool. The ladder is on wheels, so if you wanted more space in the living area. And then when you're ready to go to bed, move this across. And I'm going to take you guys on a little tour of our bedroom. So it already makes it fun, already feels like you're staying inside like a tree house. Coming up here, there's our bedroom. So as you can see, they've pretty much just put it looks like the mattress is just straight onto the floor, so onto the roof. There's even just an area here if you wanted to get some extra blankets. There's a fan. So we'll say it's a little bit hot up here. We've started cranking the aircon, but that's of course if you're here in tropical Queensland. The humidity is generally the next level. And this is kind of cool. You can crank open a bit of a roof in here to let in some air. Huh. That's our view from the top there.
Hello.
That's so cool. I think for our final kind of accommodation here on our Queensland trip, this has got to be my favourite. Hey, Bubs.
I was just thinking, imagine living in one of these houses. They are so nice here in Noosa. You can live in these like huge houses right on the river, but seeing as it's our final night here in Queensland, we've decided that we are going to go on a sunset river cruise.
Nice up here in Noosa near the beach, near like the main area, is they've built a lot of canals here, and there's some super fancy houses here as well. And then you just jump on like a little river cruise, they'll take us up and down. I'm sure on a normal, non-crazy weather day you'd get a beautiful sunset. At least it's not raining. That's what we're happy about at the moment.
So we've just arrived at Brisbane Airport and we've just realised that in our little tiny home we have left a 6-pack of ginger beer in the fridge with our faces on it. So our Airbnb host is going to think we're a little bit strange.
When they go to clean it out in probably a couple of hours time.
But they're also lucky because they have 6 cold Bundaberg ginger beers in the fridge for them. But anyway, we're now at Brisbane Airport and we have one more adventure that we're going on to before we go home.
Yes, we are heading to Hawaii. If you guys are new around here and you enjoyed this little Aussie road trip, please do hit subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye!